Well, we're working extremely hard as we head into to game week this week. Reported to camp July 31st and laid a very good, solid foundation. The past couple of weeks have been preparations specifically for Duke, and we've been focused and staying on the task at hand. That's been our goal, our motto for the most part throughout these past couple of weeks as we do prepare for Duke.
What's the biggest challenge for you when you're suddenly the head coach?
Well, I think the role of getting into the position itself, number one, okay. Right now, in terms of staff and things such as that, it hasn't been obviously any changes along the lines of staff. We're all on the same page and moving forward with our plan, okay. But for the most part, it hasn't been a huge challenge because of what we have already in place.
How the kids responded to the change?
Guys have been great. Again, working extremely hard. They're buying into a consistent model of staying focused on the task at hand, and they've been working extremely hard again as we prepare for Duke up this week.
You had some time as a high school head coach previously. How did that prepare you for what you're going to head into?
Indeed. When you step into this role, certainly all the eyes are on you, okay? And having had the opportunity to lead a program, you certainly reference that experience that you have over the years, and you understand the different things that will come into play in terms of monitoring your student athletes and getting them ready to play for the game and game preparation and game time and administering a staff as well. But that experience, 7 years as a high school head coach, I'll certainly lean on that as well. But at the same time, once I got into college coaching, it's always been my goal to become a head coach one day, and I've certainly been preparing over the years for that.
Last summer, you were kind of in this interim role for a little bit before the season. Did that allow you to think about what you may do, and now that you're going to do it, is that helped at all?
Well, I've always thought about, again, being a head coach, okay? So that time there was just another opportunity to kind of understand the role even more and what we're going to do and get into for the most part. But, again, my goal has always been to get back into this role and working hard towards becoming a head coach at some point.
The circumstances being what they are, would you have preferred not to have entered head coaching with this route?
I wouldn't say not have preferred. It's a tough situation. Coach Frazier's a dear friend of mine, okay? And I'm excited that Dr. McCree, all right, and Dr. Saunders White have trusted this program to me to move forward. It is a tough situation, but the games are going to be played, the season has to go, and they need a leader to get that done, and I'm appreciative that I've been appointed to do that.
Can you take us back to last season against Duke and talk about where things started unraveling for you guys?
I'm sorry, what was the last part?
Talk about where things started unraveling for the Eagles.
Sure. First of all, I think we started off slow. We had a slow start and got behind quite a bit early on. But once the guys settled down, I thought we put some good stuff on film, to be able to take a look at and say, we deserve to be here. We can play with these guys, for the most part. I know there was a transition throughout the game when there was a punt return that kind of took some air out of us. We had just scored. Our defense went out, got 3 and out, and there was a punt return after we punted. And that kind of took some of the air out of us at that time. But, I thought we put some good stuff on film after we settled down and began to think, well, we can play and we can play with this team. And certainly we're going to take that as a learning experience and kind of go from there.
When you play against a team in the top division, there's going to be a depth disadvantage that's just naturally built into the situation. How much can conditioning make a difference if you guys are better conditioned?
Sure.
Than a team down below?
Sure. Now, we believe we are a well-conditioned team. Throughout training camp, we practice at 2 o'clock, okay? So our one-a-day practices were at 2 o'clock. The days that we had an opportunity to practice multiple days, we started out at 8:30, but again, we were back out there at 2 o'clock, so in the warm weather. and getting it done there. So that's always been our mentality, to get out there and practice during that time, during that weather, get used to that weather. We got certainly a 4 o'clock game. Right now, the temperature is about 90 degrees expected on Saturday. It's going to be a warm one today, so that's good to get us used to that. This past week was kind of mild, but we're well conditioned and excited about the opportunity to line up against Duke.
Every coach wants to put their own unique stamp on a program, but given the timetable here, how important is it to sort of keep some continuity for the guys and not reinvent the wheel so close to the beginning of the season?
Sure. The plan is in place. I've said quite a few times in terms of what goals have been laid down for us to go on out and have a wonderful season and compete and contend for a MEAC championship. That has not changed, one bit. Understand that. At the same time, as we look at that plan, okay, and as our players are matriculating through, transition with classes and things such as that, the routine has been the same. We haven't changed anything in terms of our practice times and dates and things such as that. Again, the coaching staff remains the same, and just in terms of the approach has been the same, which has been business as usual, and we're appreciative and excited that we're heading to that direction.
Same can be said for a lot of the terminology too, the playbooks and whatnot.
Absolutely.
Quarterback and offensive line are particular strengths of your team right now, would you say?
Offensively, yes.
And how much does that help as you go into the season, knowing that part of your team is real solid?
It's always a great thing when you have a senior, fifth-year senior quarterback who put up the type of numbers that he did last season and the type of play that he's capable of doing. He's a great leader at that, so the guys really look to him for that leadership, and he's taken that role and put it on his shoulders, and we're full steam ahead with Jordan Reed. We're excited that he's our quarterback. Offensive line-wise, although we don't have one senior, we are an extremely talented bunch up front. A lot of competition has emerged throughout camp due to the youth we had initially, a number of red shirts guys who've come in and done some wonderful, wonderful things, but just a matter of gelling right now, okay? But absolutely, I would totally agree that our quarterback and offensive line right now is a strength for us.
Do you have as good a kickers as there are in the conference?
I think we do. Oleg Parent does an outstanding job. Brandon McLaurin, another young kid who's competing and doing some good things as well.
You play well on Saturday. Then everyone going to just focus on what things you want to focus on, I guess.
What was the first part?
If you play well Saturday, then everyone will just just focus on the things you want to focus on, I guess, the team and the season ahead.
Well, I think that's where we are now. We're focused on the task at hand. That's been our motto, all right? And that focus, that task is preparing it for Duke University, okay? So that has not changed. Again, we've had a couple of weeks to really tune in, to Duke and the things that they do as well. But we're excited to have the opportunity to line up against an FBS opponent on Saturday.
When you look at Duke, what's the biggest area of concern?
I would say, first of all, offensively, with their quarterback, we truly believe that he's going to run around a little bit more than Winfrey did a year ago. Okay, so we're going to have to maintain that for the most part. They have some explosive athletes as well in skill positions. So we offensively we really have to kind of keep a cap on that if we can, and kind of contain those guys as well. They return a ton defensively, as a matter of fact. 3 out of 4 D-line. 2 out of 3 linebackers, and the secondary is extremely solid as well. So they're old up front, D-line wise. You're talking about 5th-year seniors. One kid has a 6th-year that has been granted as well. So that's when you're old. You tend to play good football. Good sound football. So we have to get our guys going the way we want them to play at a high level, and be concerned with what we do in terms of eliminating mistakes and playing fast and focusing on what we can control throughout the game.
Coach, you get a sense from the guys, that the players, that I don't want to say revenge, but they want to put out a better product, put out a better game than what they did last year. Indeed. I
believe after the slow start, as I mentioned before, we really got going putting some really good stuff on film, for us to take a look at and evaluate, and for themselves to see and look and say, you know what, we can play here. We're doing fine. Let's eliminate this mistake here and there, and be along our way in terms of competing, offensively and defensively. The guys are excited. I mean, talking about this is great for the city of Durham. A lot of our players certainly know their players, and the rivalry is going to continue. A lot of them even played with each other in high school, for that matter. Grew up in the same neighborhoods, all right, and neighbors are certainly fans of each team, so it's huge for Durham, and that excitement alone, will carry us to being ready for this game as well.
Duke's got an R in front of just about everybody in the trenches, and it's all but one guy is in his fourth or fifth year. That's something I guess you're looking to happen down the road. And how important is it that you've been able to redshirt so many guys the last couple of seasons?
And the mark of a good football program is that you have the ability to redshirt your freshmen that come in, allow them to grow up. On their recruiting trips, we talk about all the time. If you had a chance to go back one more year, as a senior, how much more dominant you would be. As a fifth-year senior, you're going to be so much more dominant than if you just came in as a freshman and had to play right away. So the mark of a good football program, you redshirt those guys. You get them acclimated to college. You get them acclimated to college football. You get them in that weight room. You get them on that training table, all right, and you allow them to grow. You win championships with juniors and seniors, no doubt about that. And, for a good football program to do that, again, it's going to the benefits are going to reap rewards down the road.
How many true freshmen do you have in the program right now? How many are you hoping to redshirt?
Every last one of them. So in terms of the ones that we signed, this past season, yes.
How many guys is that?
This past year we had signed 17. So we're looking to redshirt every last one of those guys if we can. Okay.
Deontay Wright, you made at running back instead of Andre Clark. Fill us in on that.
Sure. Deontay Wright came in, he was with us last season, but had an outstanding camp. Andre Clark is still there. He's working day to day, for us, and we kind of kept him out some things due to the injury he had at the end of last season. But he's rocking and rolling. We just kind of due to injury, just kind of want to keep him out of some of the live drill work that we've had. But Deontay is a great back that has the ability to do everything. For the most part, he's a shifty runner. He has great hands out of the backfield, as well, which is always a plus. And the thing that I enjoy being an offensive line coach is that he will stick his nose up in there and protect. So the protection key is going to be key for us in keeping Jordan Reed upright. And it's not always just an offensive line thing. The backs certainly have to play a role in that, and he doesn't mind doing that one bit. So that's the part that I like about that kid. He's a tough kid, and he wants the ball, like every back does. But at the same time, he understands his role when it comes time to protect. That he's going to get that done at a high level.
Would you say he straight up beat out Augustus, or was it Augustus' injury that may have slowed him down?
Again, Andreas is right there for us as well. We've kept him out of some things throughout training camp due to his injury, but we'll see Andreas as well.
You tell your guys to play with a nothing to lose attitude on Saturday?
We tell our guys to play with passion and hard work and drive and enthusiasm, for this game every Saturday. When we step between those lines, whether it's a practice or a game, we're asking them to bring everything to the table, all right, and just let it on the line. We want to emphasize those things, throughout, that enthusiasm for this game, throughout, that passion for that game throughout, and they bought into that. They've certainly bought into that.
One of the handful of things that have to go absolutely right for you.
Oh, cannot turn the football over. Absolutely cannot turn the football over, okay? And we have to create some turnovers as well, okay, defensively. Special teams-wise, we have to be solid in the kicking game, all right? We have to be much better in the kicking game against them last year, against Duke last year than we were. But I think we have to certainly eliminate penalties as well, offensively, and be disciplined, okay, in terms of what we're doing. But those are some of the key components that we absolutely have to do in order for us to give ourselves a chance to win.
What do you think this game means for
It's huge for Durham. I mean, again, just to have the ability for two universities that are just miles apart, have an opportunity to play against each other. I think it's huge. Just because of the camaraderie, just because of the people that know each other at Duke, at North Carolina Central. So I think it's huge for Durham.
You treat this as an audition for yourself in a way?
Well, I look at it as I'm appreciative of the opportunity that our athletic director and our chancellor. I'm appreciative of that opportunity that's been given to me. We are full steam ahead on our plan in terms of accomplishing the goals that we want to accomplish, and I'm excited for that. Sure. When you look at an FBS opponent, the speed and things that you'll see, some different types of athletes that you'll see that you may not get as an overall as a bulk, in the Meet Us in Athletic Conference. It prepares us. Anytime you play up, you go and get to a competition level that may be a little greater, for the most part, and it kind of prepares you for down the road as well.